a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy is a vibrant community built on innovation, academic excellence, and a 64-year legacy of shaping community leaders. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, inviting you to visit the mountain and experience firsthand the passion, purpose, and personalized education that defines our school. Come see how our mission and vision come to life each day. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB, Carrollton, News Talk, 1330, FM 106.3.
And good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Josh Engel. Just a quick reminder, this morning's episode of the Community Voice is being live streamed on our WLBB News Talk 1330 Facebook page, as well as our Grata Communications YouTube. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest this morning, feel free to hop in the chat, but you can tune into the live stream. Feel free to share it, spread the good word as we speak to our guest this morning. Ethan Leslie. He is the president of the Carroll County Humane Society and the son of a legend and folk hero of the local community, the late Teresa Leslie. We've had her on the show hundreds of times, maybe more. I don't know. We've had her on the show a lot over the years, many, many years. So it's very, very cool to have Ethan on the program. Again, president of the Carroll County Humane Society. We're going to talk a bit about their Santa Paws program, but also we're going to spend a lot of the program paying tribute to the legacy of Teresa, what she and Ethan and the board at the Humane Society have accomplished, all the many volunteers, what they've accomplished over the years and continue to accomplish right here in our own local community. Ethan, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program. It was so wild to get to meet you today. I mean, I can tell that I can tell that you have a very similar spirit to your mom. Like when every time she'd come in, we'd always have a good laugh, and it's a pleasure to meet you. So if you could, why don't you if you could tell us a bit about yourself, tell us a bit about your story, and how you ended up being the president now.
All right, sure. Yeah, so I'm Ethan. I'm a Carrolltonian, born in Tanner Medical. My connection with animals. So I am sort of the one of the starting points for all of this trouble. I got involved way back in 7th, 8th grade. I was in beta club, needed volunteer hours, and I found out that you could help walk the dogs and kind of help socialize them out at the shelter, and that was almost like 25 years ago. So back when the shelter used to be on Zizek Street, if anyone remembers. Yeah, that was a very different facility back in the day. So I would go, and my mom had to drive me. And so she got to know a lot of the other volunteers and members. And then one day they kind of came to her and said, "Hey, we need someone to coordinate all the volunteers." And she was like, "Sure, I'll do that." And then she did really great at that. So, and then she became a board member and then worked her way up to president. So you're
to blame.
Yes,
you're to blame. How busy she was like those last few years. You worked her up.
I mean, I might have gotten her started. Of course, the passion was all hers.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, she loved animals.
Yeah.
So as growing up, I mean, did you guys have a lot of animals in the house growing up?
Yes. So, I mean, we had an animal before we kind of were allowed to. We used to live in one of the apartment complexes, and we weren't allowed to have animals, but one of our neighbors, I think because of her age, she was sort of kind of given an exception. So we came across this little cat, and that my mom named Mandu. I did not get that joke for an embarrassingly long time that we had a Kathmandu.
Oh my God. I was sitting here like, Mandu. All I think about is Kathmandu, like the Bob Seger song, and then Cat. There it is.
Yep.
That's a good name.
But yeah, and that was like third grade, I think. And then we moved out to our house out in the countryside. And from there, just animals just kind of ended up in our laps. We adopted some out of the shelter, and there were 2 dogs that showed up around my dad's workplace, and no one else wanted to take them. And, the stories we have of just how the animals ended up to us are varied. But yeah, one time I think the height of it, we had 4 dogs and 4 cats for.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
That's great. But it's par for the course. Both you and of course Teresa have a very open arms for animals, and I know a lot of that can be has been reflected in the many programs and initiatives that she and you and the team put into place, which we'll be focusing a bit more in the second segment here, as we kind of pay tribute to her legacy. If we could, let's maybe talk a bit about the organization itself. So now you were the president.
Yes.
It's super cool that legacy, that torch has been passed down. And it's really cool getting to know that. It started all the way back when you were looking for volunteer hours in like 7th or 8th grade. Yep. How did that go, by the way, the volunteering? I guess it went well, but did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. It was at the time that was mostly I was just going around and hanging out with cats and dogs and getting to play with them and stuff. And then as I got older and things got involved in different parts of it, helping them helping with actual adoption events and then helping with fundraisers. I've always enjoyed so I've been around the Humane Society in some part for most of my life, I guess. And I've kind of been a lot of the background. I've been helping I help set up the events, get stuff tuned from places, get everything set up, make sure everybody's got everything they need. And then it used to be, I just do that and then all right, Mom, you take the show.
Yeah, take it away.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about the organization. So, and it's all right if you don't have specifics. Like you put me on the spot, I can't tell you the date of stuff, but maybe you can talk a bit about how long the Carroll County Humane Society has been serving animals, and maybe we could talk a bit about the services and what all that you and the organization do.
Right. So the
mission, I should say, the primary the mission.
So yes, you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little. I'm getting back into a lot of this, but there's a lot of things that I'm trying to take in, and it's a lot for sure. But
it's impossible. When I worked at Keep Carroll Beautiful, people would ask me about the forming of the organization. And I'm like, all right, man, I wasn't there, But.
So I do remember the organization. I might have the specific year wrong, but I want to say about 1970. So it's been about 55 years that we've had a Humane Society, and it's been, the mission has, broadest stroke has been, the welfare of the animals of Carroll County. And that's we kind of have evolved that into sort of a 2-pronged kind of thing. So one is, we want to help animals that are in the shelter looking for homes. We want to help find them their homes and, make sure that they're cared for. And then once the animals find a home, we like to provide ways of sort of, helping take care of the ones that people do have. So, both so that the animals live a well life, but also so that they don't have to end up back at the shelter, unfortunately. So it's I think the one way Mom used to put it was sort of like the social safety net for animals. So we've developed programs like we have something called Empty Pet Bowls, where if you're on some kind of government assistance, you can come by. We can give you some food, because we knew there were far too many stories of people saying, well, we'd love to keep our dog. We love him dearly. He's like a family member, but we just can't afford to feed him. Or we also got the other stories of people saying, well, it was either my dog gets fed or I get fed, and I chose my dog. And we're like, no, you shouldn't. No, don't.
You need to eat too.
That shouldn't be a choice you have to make. So we have things like that. We have we have stuff like Shelter Me, which is our program. Like if an animal that's outside, we can provide dog houses for them, make sure they have somewhere warm to stay in colder or hotter, or to get out of the heat in hotter climates. We have a program that's, I want to mention it because it is very important, but it is kind of in a little bit of flux right now. We have something called Angel Fund. So like if you have a dog that, if you have a sudden emergency vet bill that's, like a broken leg or something, it's going to be $800. It's like, well, we don't have $800. Well, we have a program to kind of help along with that. That one has a little bit on a hiatus because we had, there was an online component that you had to sign up for, and our servers had to get moved over because it was just and it was something we couldn't control anything about it, but the IT guy told us is like when it moved, the stuff for that program was so old that like it couldn't go on to the new one. So we were kind of in the process of like getting that sort of revamped.
Sort of revamping and putting it together, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, and and I would be remiss not to mention the other kind of huge achievement was the West Georgia Spay Neuter Clinic, which is a part of the Humane Society. So they are a staff. They do low cost spay and neuterings, and they do a absolutely fantastic job at that. But we kind of helped them get their feet going, and now they are a wildly successful program. But yeah, they are
making a huge impact. I mean, you talk about making efforts to prevent overpopulation, and that's not in we don't like to see animals around. It's that right. So we don't want a bunch of animals out there that's not being taken care of. They've been the species have been domesticated, and that's our doing. So we should probably look out for them. They can't just be out in the wild.
Well, and I mean, unfortunately, their sort of natural life cycles, like they need to have a lot of pet, a lot of children because they. In the wild, maybe a bunch of them don't survive, but here, all of them will survive. So a cat will have 8 litters or 8 kittens in a litter, and it's like you said, we love to see the animals around, but there's too many to be taken care of, unfortunately.
Well, time is 8:40. We're going to go ahead and take that first commercial break. Before we do, I am going to, before we take that break, we're going to go ahead and knock out the random Christmas trivia cash giveaway question for today. So if you know the answer to today's question, visit the station's website or gradicommunications.com. Click the random Christmas trivia banner and enter your name, email, phone, and your answer. One entry from the correct answers will be picked at random daily, and that contestant will win $100. Please enter only once per day. If you enter more than one time per day, of course, your entry will be disqualified for that day. Then on December 6th, between noon and 2 p.m., one of our 12 daily winners, along with a 13th winner selected at random that morning, will have a chance to turn that $100 into $1,000 at a live remote broadcast at Carrollton on Ice. Honestly, you get the $1,000, you should donate some to the Humane Society because they're doing great work. And it's the remote broadcast is going to be on December 6th, Carrollton on Ice, the covered outdoor ice rink located at the Polar Pavilion at East Carrollton Rec Center. That's 410 North Lake Drive in Carrollton. Today's question for December 4th. And Ethan, if you know the answer, don't say it. We got to let the listeners try to guess it. I have to say that because I'll just blurt it out, honestly, if I were in the room. So December 4th today, the question is, what song does Lucy ask Schroeder to play on his piano in A Charlie Brown Christmas? What song does Lucy ask Schroeder to play on his piano in A Charlie Brown Christmas? Now we're going to take our commercial break to hear from the show's sponsors. So we'll be right back after we hear a message from Tanner Health and Oak Mountain Academy.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
A very good morning to you. We are here at the Walmart Supercenter parking lot. It is day number 1 of the Toys for Tots Drive with Southwire's Project Gift. It's Michael Vincent hanging out here, and we're actually getting into year number 21 with Southwire's Project Gift of doing this with the United States Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots program. Looking for a new unwrapped toy for a child, age infant through 17, and the need is great as always. Our goal this year is 5,000 toys. And the beauty is it may be chilly, but you can stay right in your nice, warm, cozy vehicle, and the Southwire Gift Project Gift volunteers will unload your car and get you on your way. It's that simple. Going to be here till 7 o'clock tonight, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. again tomorrow. We're at the Walmart Supercenter parking lot here in Carrollton. It's a Toys for Tots drive, so come on by and give what you can. If you don't have time to shop, they'll take your monetary donation as well. It's Michael Vincent broadcasting live with Southwire's Project Gift with News Talk 1330 FM 106.3 WLBB.
Do the math. At Oak Mountain Academy, our average graduating class has just 12 students. We celebrate a 100% graduation rate with more than $10.5 million in college scholarships offered. Plus, 96% of our students are accepted into their top choice college. Do the math. Can you see the value of an OMA education? I'm Patrick Uran, head of school at Oak Mountain Academy, and I'm here to help you do the math. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us so that you can discover your journey on the mountain, where every path leads to purpose.
And we're back to Community Voice. Today is December 4th. Time is 8:44, and I'm your host, Josh Engel. We got Ethan Leslie, son of the late Teresa Leslie, and icon here around West Georgia for her work with the Carroll County Humane Society. And how cool is this? The torch has been passed. Ethan, Teresa's son, is the current president of the Carroll County Humane Society, doing great work, providing tons of services for the community and their animals to try to make sure that that animals have the best life possible and to assist families in doing that. If you're just tuning in, be sure to check out the last segment. We did talk about the a bit about the organization, the formation of the organization, a bit about Ethan's story, and a bit about the organization at large. We also covered the random Christmas trivia cash giveaway questions, so be sure to go back and check that out if you want to participate in that. All right, Ethan, let's talk about Teresa.
All right. I mean, there's so much to say, like both about animals and in general. I mean, lots of people around here know her for animals, but I'm sure a number of people who, if they went to West Georgia, heard her doing history, but also like just, which she just thought of as like telling stories, basically.
Sure. She was a professor.
Yes. Professor of history over at the University of West Georgia. She always had her like intro to world history class, and then frequently she would have upper division where she got to talk about medieval women, which was her area of focus. Real quick, yes, if you ever, her most favorite figure to ever talk about was Eleanor of Aquitaine. So go read up about her if you want to understand like the kind of vibe that Mom always was about.
Love that.
But yeah, and I mean, animals were definitely the thing that she got known around the community for most. And there's a lot of reasons for that. She, working with the humane animals, kind of developed, I fostered more of it. She's always been a big animal lover. But she knew, I think there was a couple parts of that. One was that animals don't have a voice for themselves. So she was always felt it was important to be a way to give voice to them and, let people know what, they just need things. They just want love. And, like out of the shelter, especially like if you go to the shelter, sometimes it can seem like a lot because there's a lot of animals there. But really it just, they're just excited to see people. And, she just like bringing that to people and letting them know that, they want love just like the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, it was always so cool, like when she'd pull up at Parkwood or a main hub with animals to bring them on Kiss, the Kiss morning show to help adopt. I mean, she really put in so much time and effort. Not to mention the initiatives I'm sure that she spearheaded with the organization that many of which exist today. Yeah,
I mean, and it is, they're like the spay neuter clinic, and I think Empty Pet Bowls was probably one of hers, and a lot of projects that people brought to her attention that she helped, make work, like the masks for the firefighters for dogs, and then like the one of the Battered Women clinic in Atlanta reached out to us about like if someone had an animal that needed to be like boarded temporarily or something, we had funds set aside for something like that. And I think that was one of the other things for Mom was that animals are, there's a lot of things that people need, but that animals can kind of be that last little thing that can be easily overlooked in a lot of situations. And so we always kind of strive to be like, that last little thing to help out, and kind of, because, people really do get attached to your pets.
Absolutely. I mean, they're more, some of us who have kind of dysfunctional extended families, right? I mean, not my, immediate family, but my extended family. I mean, there were times when, And I'm not even going to pretend like I'm saying like it was a isolated thing. There are some of my animals growing up. I mean, they were as important to me as any blood relative that I don't talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, these animals meant the world to me, and it means so much that she wanted to give a voice to those that don't have a voice. I mean, dogs are and animals are as communicative as possible. And if you listen and pay attention, they are paying attention to you, and they know a lot of what you're saying. But if you really pay attention and just try to zoom in, she just treated them with such immense respect and love, and the families that care for them. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for these families, no matter what their socioeconomic status is, to be able to care for these animals and to give them a good and happy life.
Exactly. And I think the most perfect example is the life of her late dog, unfortunately, but of Seymour, which I understand has been mentioned on the show in years past.
A lot of pictures I've seen. Tell them a bit about Seymour, because I mean, talk about a folk legend, much like your mom.
So Seymour, he was 18 when he passed. So she got him. He came into our life about 2007. And he showed up right as my brother was set to go off to Stanford. So he was at West Georgia, and now he was going to move across the country. And I was in Redcoats in the marching band at UGA, and that year there were effectively like I was going to have to be at all of the games. So suddenly, like that fall, I wasn't able to come home. So yeah, he showed up right as both of us kind of just actually left. Like, that was when Empty Nest got to hit full force.
And here comes Seymour.
Yep. And I mean, and this dog was so special, because I remember when he was younger, like I would come home, I would sit in the rocking chair in the living room, and he would, if wherever he was, he would come rocketing down the hallway, jump into my lap and be like, okay, we're going for a walk now.
Yeah.
And I had to walk him pretty long, about a mile at least, for him to be satisfied.
Yeah, get that energy out.
Oh yeah, no, he was,
and he was also pretty magical too.
Yes, he had. So there were just some unexplainable things. So, for example, my mom was diabetic, and there were several nights where she'd be woken up in the middle of the night and he would just be barking his head off, and she couldn't tell it anything in particular, but she would get up and say, Seymour, what's wrong? And then she'd go and look and go, something feels off. And she'd go and check her blood sugar, and it'd be like, it'd be really low. And she's like, oh, it was him telling her.
No way.
Oh,
whoa, that's crazy.
Oh, there's one even better.
Okay.
So, she would go off to do, for her classes and stuff. And the road that they're on, like the house is not seen from either end of it, and it's about a mile or so long. And I swear, when we would be up at the house and she would turn on the road, and I would know she would, because Seymour would go to the door and start barking. And we were like, Seymour, what are you doing? And then about 30 seconds, a minute later, she'd pull up, and it's like he knew when she was coming home.
Oh, see, that's amazing. Oh, that blows my mind. I'm Rupert Sheldrake. That's it. There's a professor, Rupert Sheldrake from England. He actually has published several books on this phenomena that animals, dogs especially. Let's say you come home every day at 5, right? And the dog starts kind of coming alive. It's like it knows that its owner's about to come home. Well, someone would say, well, that's just the schedule. They got an internal clock. No. What studies have shown is that if you are going to have to work late that day, the dog won't get up at 4:55. That if it's when you decide that you're going to go home at like 6:20 or something, that dog will stand up and be ready. It is a interesting phenomenon, but I think it speaks a lot to the connection and that we have formed between the two species. I mean, we came up the food chain together. We brought dogs with us, and cats, dogs, birds, whatever it is. I mean, the relationships we have with animals are so special, and I love how much she cherished that and held that dear, and how cool that Seymour was looking out for her. She spent all these years trying to take care of animals, and then here was this magical Seymour to take care of her.
I mean, he was something of a muse for her as time went on. I mean, and I think those kind of connections, like that's why she knew it was so important, and so that's when people talk about their pets and like, you know, if they're in a rough situation, she's like, no, you have to keep them because they're special like that. And she knew just how much it can mean. I mean, you know, it might sound a little hyperbolic or something, but I mean, animals can, you know, save some people's lives and kind of keep, you know, when everything else is going awful in the world, you have your little pet with you that, you know, could just be that little bit of comfort.
A dog or a cat is never going to judge you based on an opinion or where you're from, the color of your skin. They don't care about any of that. Yeah. All they care about is loving, and I mean, now I'm going to make myself cry. We keep talking about it. We have a comment that come in here. Shout out to Scott McClure. He says, I'm a retired medic, and it seems that every stray animal in the neighborhood knows to come to our house and be taken in and taken care of. We had 3 kittens ride home with my wife from the ER in Bremen, where she is a nurse, several months back. I was able to find one. I was able to find one of the boy that came in, but we kept 2 girls and had them fixed. We had a stray dog show up about a month ago, and I've taken it in as well. I try to do my part. Thank you guys for all you do. See, Scott, you are carrying that legacy on. Teresa's legacy. That's a beautiful thing. We'll just say the Leslie's legacy. How about that?
Well, thank you.
And shout out to Scott, man. That's awesome. And
thank you, Scott.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and we're almost out of time here, but we're going to go ahead and take that last commercial break. And when we come back, we'll wrap up with just a few minutes with President of the Carroll County Humane Society, Ethan Leslie. Stay with us.
Imagine a place where every heartbeat is monitored with the utmost care, where emergencies are met with swift attention, and where cutting-edge technology enables precise and timely treatments. At Tanner Health, every patient's journey is a testament to resilience, a story of strength, healing, and hope. We go beyond treatment to redefine what compassionate care truly means. That's Tanner Health. That's care redefined. Learn more at tanner.org.
Oak Mountain Academy specializes in a customized designed academic approach tailored to meet the needs of our families. Our lower division prepares students with the necessary foundation to build excellence. Our middle division provides students with over 15 course offerings, providing them with opportunities to explore their talents and gifts. Our upper division provides personalized academic journeys, allowing them to achieve their dreams. I'm Patrick Uran, head of school, inviting you to journey with us. For more information, visit us at oakmountain.us, where every path leads to purpose.
And we're back to Community Voice. We got Ethan Leslie on the program today. Be sure to share the podcast of this episode with the president of the Carroll County Humane Society. Spread the good word about helping these animals. You can share the Facebook live stream, or you can share the YouTube live, the Grata Communications YouTube, or you can share the podcast, which will be uploaded to the station's website as well as gratacommunications.com. We only have about 3 minutes left there, so if we could hit people with information about Santa Paws, another initiative that your mom and your dad, and people don't realize your dad's actually Santa Claus. I mean, looking at you, they might be able to figure it out with that bushy beard, but
I am Santa in training.
There you go.
So yeah, Santa Paws it's kind of one of our more fun fundraisers. You can come to our headquarters and bring your pets, and then get a picture with Santa. Excellent. Any and all critters, you know, we've done dogs, cats, parrots, snakes, hermit crabs, whatever you got. We love to get pictures of them.
Excellent. And that will be this weekend, the 6th and the 7th, as well as the 20th and the 21st. When and where will that be? So the time and the location.
So that's going to be from 11 to 3. And it's going to be at our headquarters, which is at the corner of Tuggle and Maple Street, basically across from like the bike shop and the pizza place.
Excellent. So we got about 2 minutes left. You mentioned a push for membership to connect with members in January. Could you speak a bit to that?
Yeah. So the board and I are we're going to hit in the early January at the start of the new year. We're going to sort of revamp our understanding of like what it means to be a member of the Humane Society, and you know what we want our volunteers to be doing. So we are planning to have a big push for people to come out. I won't say anything permanent just yet, but like we're planning to have like a member meeting, hopefully like late January, early February, to kind of get people reacclimated to us and kind of talk about what we want volunteers to do. So if you are any interest in helping us out in any way, shape, or form, be on the lookout for on our Facebook page, on our website. I'll probably have another community calendar announcement for it. But yeah, we are looking forward to getting a lot of new people involved.
And let us know. We'll try to bring you on the show if at all possible, and if not, we'll at least be sure to include it in some in news breaks or something. Be sure to spread the good word. I did want to ask you, what was the website where folks can learn more?
Oh, so the website is carrollcountyhumane.org.
Excellent. And Carroll County Humane Society on socials.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, Ethan, we're out of time here, but I want to thank everybody that tuned in with us. And Ethan, thank you, man. I really thought very highly of your mother. She was a special, amazing woman, and I can tell that the spirit of decency has passed down to her kids. Not trying to make you emotional, but she's a very special person, and it was really cool to see you carrying on this legacy and making such an impact. So shout out to you and everyone with the Humane Society.
Well, thank you. It's been an honor and a privilege.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming on the program. We're going to have you on again very soon, and maybe a few hundred times, just like your mom. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. We'll see you at Toys for Tots until 7 p.m. today and tomorrow at the Carrollton Walmart Supercenter. Don't miss it. And we'll also see you tomorrow on the Community Voice. Thank you for listening.
National headlines and the local stories you care about. WLBB.